What's up, my angels? It is super early in the morning. It's 4:15. I woke up at like 3:11 or something like that. Um, I'm not really feeling like going back to sleep, so I decided to sit up and paint some more. But as I was painting, I was thinking about yesterday. My older sister and I were talking. She came by and we were talking, and we were talking about essentially our past, like not our past as in us directly, but our past through our mom. And she was trying to tell me that I wasn't over the situations and I wasn't over our past. And I wasn't over the reality of my mother and my relationship and how it is. And I was telling her that I am. Um, I think people get a misunderstanding of words and understanding of what it means to be over something. Now, being over something doesn't necessarily mean that you have no feelings whatsoever or any emotions or thought process about a situation. Being over it just means that you have come to a peace in your mind with whatever it is. And that is the case with myself and my mom. And sometimes, in order to come to a peace, you have to learn to detach yourself from the negativity of whatever that situation is. And so I have done that. And I actually have done that a while ago. The only issue being is that sometimes you have to actually detach yourself from the thing itself, be it for a moment or for a lifetime. Sometimes it only takes a moment, sometimes it only takes a certain amount of time, but sometimes it has to be a permanent thing. In a nutshell, it just boils down to whatever is healthiest for you and loving yourself to make that decision, enough to make that decision. And I've already realized a long time ago that my mother is my mother. I love her so much no matter what because that's my mother. But there are toxicities from our past that are unresolved. And when you're dealing with relationships, in order to resolve certain issues, it takes a mutual agreement to want to do so. And I try not to talk too much about um interpersonal stuff like this, but with the path that I'm I'm trying to take the trying out of my vocabulary. The path that I'm going down, the book that I'm writing, the inspiration that I'm trying to give, the motivation, the push that I'm trying to put out into the world is requiring me to be more open and more candid. And I'm a candid person anyway, but I'm a very private individual, and it's requiring me to be less private. So this is a conversation that I know that there are a lot of other people in this world needs to hear, so that they to help them to understand how to cope and how to come through what they're going through. Um, I needed it. So I'm choosing not to be selfish and hold it to myself, be it however others may come across this message and feel about it. Um, Everybody's entitled to their feelings about things. But as I was saying, she was trying to tell me that I wasn't over it. So we left the conversation at that. And because she had to go and handle some business, she came back and I had come to my room and started painting. And I guess she came because she thought I guess she just assumed that I was upset about the conversation. I don't know. But she came into the room and closed the door and was like, I'm only telling you and mom this because I love you both and da 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 da. And then she looks at me because I looked at her while she was talking, courtesy, and she goes, "What you do to your eyes?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" She goes, "Your eyes got lighter." I didn't do anything to my eyes. What do you mean? She was like, "Your eyes used to be darker. Your eyes got lighter." And as I think about it, well, my response to her was like, I got positive. I started working on becoming more positive. I mean, that's the only explanation I can think of. What people don't realize is that everything, every thought, everything, and every single emotion that you feel, think, or see is energy. And whatever you put weight to and emphasis on, that energy grows. And it grows within you first before it manifests into the world. And not too long ago, not so long ago, I had a lot of dark negative energy with me. I had a lot of pain. When I say pain, like deep, deep rooted pain. And I had a lot of anger and a lot of hatred, external hatred for things outside of me, and a lot of self hatred. And it wasn't intentional self hatred. It was not me like, oh, like I knew that there were good things about myself that I loved about myself, but it was self hatred in the fact that I didn't believe that I didn't know, like I know, that I deserved for good things to happen to me. I would tell myself that these things are happening to me because I must deserve it. I mean, sometimes I would say that. Several times where I'm like, I know I don't deserve this. Like, why is this happening to me? But it was like, how else do you justify so much negativity coming your way? Like, so much hurt coming your way, so much pain and abuse and all of these things. Like, why is it coming in my direction unless I deserve it? And that was my type of thought process. Like, I was just trying to find an explanation and a justification for it all. At the time, I didn't know how else to deal with it. So I had a lot of pain, and that darkness and that pain carried through in my soul. Like you could see it when you looked at me. You could see it in my eyes. You could see it in my walk. You could see it in my whole face. Like I've always looked very young for my age. Always have. Probably always will. I don't know. But outside of looking young, and a lot of people think that because you look young, that means that you definitely had an easy life. But if you looked into my eyes and you just watched my face, like paid attention to my face, to even even when I smiled, I would look back at pictures and videos of myself where I would smile and it wasn't a real smile. Like I would try to give a real smile, but I couldn't. I didn't know how it was possible because I didn't feel that joy that would create that smile. Like I couldn't express what wasn't there to be expressed. I was very down. I was very depressed. And now, despite whatever may be going on, whatever goes on around me, whatever happens now, I have a peace and a joy inside of myself. I have a self-love for me. I am in love with me. Every aspect, every part of me. Like I just want to love on me. I want to give me everything that I know that I've been deserved. I don't I would love to be in a relationship. I would love to be in a relationship. But the reason I would love to be in a relationship is because I know that I deserve to be loved on, but it's not something that I have to have because I am 100%, 1,000% willing to love on me and give myself enough where I will be completely happy without an external relationship. I mean, they don't, I may have other, physical needs and things that would make me happy and, you know what that is, but I can completely love on myself. And the thing is, until you're able to do that, it's going to be very difficult for you to find somebody else who's going to give you the type of love that you crave, that you want and need and desire. Because first you have to give yourself that and love yourself enough to give you that before anybody else will, you know? A lot of times the way people are made, you have to show them how to love you. Because everybody's not loved the same. You can't love everybody the same way, you know? Everybody has their own definition to what love is. So in order for somebody to know what your definition of love is, what it means to love you have to show them. And you can't just tell them, do this for me and do that for me. But if you're not willing to do it for yourself, then you don't even love you enough to do it for you. So why would they put so much of their energy into doing something for you that you don't even love you enough to do for you? So I said all this because this conversation stemmed from my sister telling me that my eyes got lighter. And I now believe that what she probably meant is that it didn't get lighter in color because my eyes have always been the same color. Even when I was younger, I noticed that my eyes are it looks like kind of a dark brown, not not dark brown like other people's eyes. My eyes are like my dad's. I have my dad's eyes. So they're kind of dark brown. But if I look into a light, if I'm looking directly at a light, let me show you. Give me 1 second and I'm going to show you. Turn. See, it looks dark brown, but if I let me see if I can do it, it looks kind of creepy. Bear with me. Nope, it's not showing it. But what I'm saying is, you can see the color more. It glows and it stands out. It becomes a little bit more transparent looking, like you can see through into my soul. And that came with light. When I was in the dark or in a dimly lit area, you couldn't see that so much. But as I was going through life, especially once I hit, well, even in my childhood, like I was in a very low space in my childhood too. I had suicidal attempts and all types of stuff that it was all secretly. Nobody really knew about it. But when I hit adulthood and life smacked me in the face, so to say, because I wasn't prepared for it, it was hard and I was going through it and I didn't know how to come through it, and it was hard and painful and scary, and all of those negative feelings were put to it, and it showed in my eyes. Like, I guess my eyes were dark. There was no light in my soul. Like, there may have been a glimmer of light, but there was never a full, it was never, my fuel was never full, you know? And I didn't know how to get it full by myself. I always felt like I needed a relationship. I needed my mother to love me the way I wanted her to love me. My dad to love me the way I needed him to love me. I always felt like I needed external fuel to keep my light lit. And now I know different. Like, I love me enough to love them enough to give them whatever time they need to come to a positive space in their life, because I had to take all the time I needed for me to be able to do that for me, and to learn that I didn't need anybody else to do that for me. It would have felt good, but at the end of the day, it's even better for me now because I know that if if everybody else disappeared, I could still give me that. So that's all I did this video for. I just needed to get that message out. It was in my soul, in my spirit, and I feel like that may be why I woke up, just to give that message. So I love you all. I really hope that you appreciate the messages and the gifts and everything that I'm putting out for you guys. Um, as I said, I'm a very private person, so it's not always an easy thing for me to open up the way I try to, and I'm getting better at doing. Um, but it's not always easy. Uh, so I hope you appreciate it, guys, and continue to show your support for me. I've gotten a lot of support from a lot of strangers, And that's why I call you all my angels. Um, because you are my angels. And that's why if you notice in my description, I always have hashtag Army of Angels, because that is my name that I've decided to give you guys. Because a lot of the strangers in my life have helped me fight through the toughest of situations, things that I would not have been able to make it through without you guys. And I appreciate from the bottom of my heart and soul all of that. My kids, I'm sure, appreciates that, because they wouldn't have me without that. Because I wasn't in love, and didn't love myself enough to be able to make it without what y'all were able and willing to freely give to help me pull through when I wasn't able and willing to pull myself through. And that's why I'm doing this channel. That's why I'm giving these messages. That's why I'm doing my book that I'm writing. And that's why everything. So if you would like to show your continued support, I would greatly appreciate it. And in ways that you can do that is by going down and liking this video and subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell so you won't miss out on my future messages. And you can get it as soon as it is posted. And by also going and finding my Facebook page and request me as a friend and just talk to me, because it's good to be able to communicate and verbalize and have someone to, just discuss things and talk through things with. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out, finish working on my picture, and, well, at least finish with this little piece of paint that I put down already. And then I'm going to try to get some sleep before it's time to wake up again, like officially wake up. And I will talk to you later on today if something comes to my spirit that I need to give you guys. Y'all continue to stay safe, stay bright, stay loving, and keep peace. Love you guys.